A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this channeling session, this collective reading. In this collective reading, I would be sharing some important message for those people who are going to definitely resonate with it a lot, and it may not resonate 100% with someone. So let's dive deep into it and let's find out what is the message for you all. So first and foremost, I want to mention that the first card that I picked is you were always special, always the special and different one in your family. Okay. Careless at times and then regrets later on. One more quality. Someone who doesn't talk much. And in Hindi it says जिनका वो भला करते हैं वही लोग जिनका वो भला करते हैं कई बार वही लोग उन्हें कोसते हैं. So in some cases it has been seen that those people who you did good for, you did nice things for them, you cared for them and you helped them out, those were the same people who basically cribbed and complained a lot. Sometimes being shown that you have been your own enemy, you have come in your own path. In some cases you have acted mindlessly and probably you regret for those things. So those things have gone into the sacral chakra domain and causing you guilt and sometimes pain. People who have troubled a pure-hearted soul like you unnecessarily will pay for it without a doubt. See, we all make mistakes. We can all be mindless sometimes, we can be stupid sometimes, and we can make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes. But if a person is pure-hearted, they don't go and harm others intentionally. There's a big difference in intentionally doing something and unintentionally and unknowingly doing something. Now, because you were special and different one in your family, amongst a group of people in the generational line, you obviously had to go through a different type of experience unlike others. Because if you're different, that means you're different versus a group of people or some more people, obviously. So they all have the same kind of lifestyle or similar things they do, similar things they want, similar desires they have, and maybe they achieve it also. Maybe they attract those materialistic things and desires. If you're not like them, then obviously you're not going to be able to achieve those things or attract those things that easily. Reason being, you yourself are not interested in those things. Subconsciously, you're not a match to that energy. Maybe consciously from outside for a while, maybe you said, okay, I want this, I want that, and I'll try to achieve it. But within yourself, internally, you don't want those things. So you created situations or there was some kind of scenarios around you which made you realize that even more, that this is not you. Just because you fit in doesn't mean you belong to that situation. You also tried to fit in, and maybe you also fit into those things for a while. It felt like you are fitting in, but doesn't mean that it belongs to you, that thing or that situation or that person, or you belong to that thing, situation and person. Now, you have been careless at times and then regrets, and this regretting and being mindless has come twice, which means some of you have been blaming your own self a lot. You have been maybe even emotionally punishing yourself. You have been telling yourself, why would you do that? How could you do it? Why would you lose your cool? Why would you be so angry? So on and so forth. Like in those situations, maybe anger or the way you acted was probably the right thing to do. That's what my intuition is telling me. And if you were careless or if you did something wrong, then obviously you also learned a lesson. You have to learn a lesson. There must be some lesson. In that point in time, we cannot understand the lesson. Like yesterday, I was in a session with someone, and this person was telling me about how their lover, was actually talking to someone, but talking a lot and then lying about it, and there was some proofs that came into their understanding, into their knowledge, and they questioned their partner, their lover, and that went really bad, and the partner was like, don't question me, I don't like to be questioned. If you cannot trust me, then better you go your own way. And it was a long term relationship, very long, and it was a very happy relationship. And the person told me that this person was a very good provider, very good nurturer, caretaker, everything was great. But ever since another person came into the picture, a third party has come into the picture, some karmic tie has come into the picture, there were lots of fights. And one fine day, this person lost their cool, which was a mistake. They know. They said that I should not have reacted this way. However, I feel it was not a wrong thing to do. It was a natural reaction. If you find your person, chit-chatting with someone, talking to someone, hiding that conversation, deleting that conversation, or probably lying about that conversation, and you finding out about that person later on, then anyone can lose their cool. And then that means there are lies going around, there is some kind of cheating going around, there is some kind of negative energy. If people do something with complete honesty, then there's no problem. Now, the same person's reaction who found out the truth is being used against them, that you did this wrongly, your behavior was bad. I mean, imagine the person who's lying and cheating, that person is completely ignoring their lying and cheating, but they've picked on to that person's bad behavior, that your behavior is bad, you were angry, you were screaming at me, you were questioning me, you checked my phone and this and that. So I don't think you're the good person, you're the right person, or you're the kind of person I want to be around. So I picked up this example today because I felt that this example really matches in with it. And then there can be other mistakes. There can be some other examples also where you could have been actually wrong. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe you did some mistake. But sensing the energy of the collective, I'm not saying the collective is made up of perfect people. I'm not saying that. But I somehow know that people who have this star seed or twin flame light worker kind of energy, these type of people don't do dirty games. They don't play mind games. Sometimes there can be having some kind of narcissism in them because of their upbringing and because one of their parent was a narcissist, so it got passed on to them. However, they are nice people in general. They don't play those type of games that usually a very manipulative person would play. But still, even if you have done the worst of mistakes in your life, all empaths have this in their energy field, that when they make a mistake or when they are wrong, they usually accept it and they accept their flaws really well. However, if you are flawed and the other person is immoral, a flaw can be acceptable, but immorality cannot be acceptable. Inhumanity, immorality, cheating, lying, manipulations, that cannot be accepted. Everything else is okay. You can make mistakes, you can misunderstand people, and then that can be rectified later on. But in the misunderstanding phase, if somebody says a lot of bad things to another person, then they also have to own up to their mistakes. We cannot expect the world to change for us till the time we don't change ourselves. So when I was talking about this example, I also must tell you one more thing that I found out in that session, that whosoever I was helping out in the session was also with another person while they were having this relationship with the one who was cheating and lying. So I told them that if this person is cheating and lying to you and you're feeling so bad, what about the person who has been in your life for so many years, your original partner? How will they feel if they find out that you also are cheating and lying with someone else? This is example of a very worldly person, okay? I'm not saying this is a star seed kind of person or light worker or twin flame. This is an example of a worldly person. So different types of people come to me for energy reading and therapy, and I have to tackle sometimes very difficult situations. Just because I'm working with someone one on one doesn't mean that I'm not going to point out their flaws. If I don't point out their flaws, they will never learn. They will never figure things out. They'll still continue to make the mistakes. And I felt that the person who they were with for all these years was a far better person, far better human being, far better woman. But the other one who has not spent that much time with them, even though it's a long term relationship, it was also a long term relationship, had not done anything for them. And now that they found someone else, that person, they have started making this one feel that you have anger issues, you are aggressive, we can never work with each other, we can never do anything nice with each other because you already have this and that going on. They never said these things when they were involved for all these years, when they were taking resources or money or whatnot. Okay, so being mindless, being careless, being wrong is okay, but being manipulative, being very money minded, being like typical karmic behavior, that's not nice. And so people who I'm reading this energy for, some of you could be around such people and you may not be able to recognize them. You may still be connected with them, you may still be attached with them, and you want them badly, maybe, but you're not able to recognize that someone could be a hardcore cold-blooded narcissist and you just been giving them love and affection and your presence and whatnot. And maybe I think it's time now for you to be able to recognize who is right and wrong, and also then look within. What if I have also in my life hurt someone in my past, maybe if not now, and or maybe I was not able to recognize someone else's love for me, someone else's true love for me back then. So I need to make peace with it. You need to repair that relationship. Now some of you may not be in touch with that person or those people, whosoever it is, one or more, but you still remember them very clearly, very vividly. So this has popped up in this reading. This is the first thing. I had to actually go somewhere, take a break in the middle, and I'm coming back and doing this channeling. So in my last clip, I had spoken about how for any starseed, light worker, anybody on ascension, it is very important to be someone who's at least honest. Like most basic requirement or the most basic emotion. I think this is also a very high vibrational emotion or a behavior pattern to have, that no matter what you are honest and innocent. These are the two things that usually apply with you. So for people like you can believe anybody, you can talk to anybody, you can share with anyone with ease. But other people may not be the same. Other people may not be on the same tangent as you are, or on the same level of thoughts as you are. And I'm not gonna be enabling any narrative towards anybody like a lot of people on internet do these days. They try to praise people a lot, whosoever is listening. This is what I'm genuinely feeling and the people I am connecting with. So obviously I very strongly feel that if you're on a path of ascension, you're definitely God's child, because ascension is not for everybody. And if you are in this field, this path, in this zone, then definitely in your past lives, either you have done a lot of good things, you have done a lot of penance, or you have done a lot of tapasya, or you have come here specifically to raise the frequency of this planet, to be a part of this shift, and it's not easy to be a part of this shift. You have to sacrifice, you have to go through many things. It's not a negative thing, it's a very positive thing. So in today's channeling, one of the strongest message is that you can recognize people, because you can recognize your own self. The more we recognize our own selves in our totality, with our flaws, with our imperfections, with our good, bad, all types of qualities, we are able to do real shadow work. People who do shadow work are the people who are open to change, and they're open to accept that they are not perfect and it is okay to not be perfect. They understand that they want to release those aspects of themselves that are becoming an obstruction in source integration. Now, they could have been introduced in this journey to this journey because of a twin flame, because of a soulmate, because of a karmic relationship. It could have been even a casual relationship that probably took them to this path. But now that they are on this path, they want to maintain the honesty and the love, the real love they feel now, the real love they feel in their DNA, in their soul. They feel it, they can sense it, they can sense a connection with themselves, with their own self. So those are the people who would be able to recognize. I gave you one example before I went out. That was to tell you that when you obviously must have started listening to the example, you would have had a lot of sympathy for that guy, okay, who was talking about someone who lied to him, cheated to him. But when you heard that this guy also is doing the same thing to his partner, then the sympathy factor goes down. So the story is only complete when you listen to it fully, or you watch it fully, or you look at other aspects, or you look at all the point of views. Now, this person is in a bad shape, for example, emotionally. They cannot tolerate the fact that, someone they love or someone they've been with for so long, someone they gave a lot of materialistic things to, took care of all of their issues, all of their problems, could actually go ahead and do this to them. But they are still not open to the fact that they are also giving like much worse pain to someone else, because the other person is not tied up to them in any way. It's just a relationship, it's not a marriage, it's not like they share children and things like that. They're still not able to understand their mistake and how they are hurting another person. They can only see their pain, that this is my pain and this is what I'm going through, and I need to heal from it, I need to cure myself from it. So at one point they are the victim, and in the other point they are the perpetrator. And we should not judge this person, because maybe we also have some things to settle from our past lives. Maybe in some past life we hurt someone, or maybe in the current life when we were younger, when we did not realize or understand things, we unknowingly hurt someone, we unknowingly rejected someone, and today when someone is rejecting us, we feel very bad about that rejection, but we could have also done the same thing in the past. So this channeling is not to compare you with any mean person. It's not to compare you with someone who's very negative. It's actually to tell you that all types of situations exist on this planet, and we don't know, because we are not perfect. We are all sinners in many ways. We have all sinned, and we could have sinned unintentionally also. As much as people sin with intentions, a lot of people have sinned unintentionally. They don't know what food they are eating, they don't know what clothes they are wearing. Like, a lot of people don't know that when they buy leather shoes, leather bags, or leather sofas, leather furniture, leather upholstery, they don't know how that piece of leather, where is it coming from, they don't know. So this is unintentionally hurting someone or being a part of someone's abuse. Now, we all human beings, we collect a lot of karma like this, unintentional and intentional. Sometimes we hurt people intentionally also. We know it's gonna hurt someone, but we do it. Sometimes we do it because we are in a job. Sometimes we do it because we are here, there, whatever X, Y, Z reasons are there. So in order to clear all the karma, all the baggage of the karma, and also to safeguard ourselves, because when we clear our karma, that's a good thing, but we also need to protect ourselves from not amassing other more such things, new karma. Okay, after we figure things out, it's all right, but we need to protect ourselves. So how we do that is, number one, we have to stay in the present moment. Couple of things I'm going to share with you. When we stay in the present moment, we don't have so much karma. Secondly, we need to give up the doership. When we give up the doership, we help immensely in our journey ourselves by not collecting more karma, because we are not taking any credit, whether it's good or bad. And such people who don't take doership, they also go through negative and positive situations equally. It's not like suddenly they will stop meeting negative people or everything will become a bed of roses. No, they will. But because they are not taking any credit or any doership, as much as they feel okay with the positive things, like they don't get excited or don't go like, wow, something great is happening to me, they also don't get very sad or very low when something bad happens. In fact, they know that these two things are linked with each other. Like I was rescuing some animals the other day, and we found a really playful, cute puppy. The puppy was living somewhere on the street, and we saw that there was good amount of playing space, and there were some really nice people around the puppy who said that, yeah, we're gonna love it, we take care of it, we share responsibilities. So we found one more puppy nearby, somewhere someone had dropped it elsewhere. We thought that maybe these two puppies can play together and they can be happy. And they actually got along really well. They started playing, and the people around also said that, yeah, we're gonna do it. So a really positive thing happened. Everybody was happy. But in the evening, just a few hours later, we got to know that the puppy, the first one, actually got hit by a car and was no more. And by the next day, the second puppy that was now left alone actually went somewhere, just walked somewhere and went missing. And after that, I decided to look for the puppy, and it was like an impossible thing because 3 days had passed by when the puppy was not around. Obviously, it had not eaten any food. So the same situation that gave us so much joy actually gave me so much pain and sadness and fear, like, where is the puppy, what happened to the puppy? And I searched. Another group, two people also went out to search, but nobody found anything. But here is the thing, I was connected to the higher beings, the spirit guides, and I was given a lot of signs that hopefully the puppy would be with you, it would be fine, and soon it will happen. And there was literally no way that it would have happened. In if you look at it from the worldly perspective or the sansaric point of view, it was just logically it was impossible. Emotionally also it was very heavy duty. But after 3 days, I actually end up finding the puppy. So it was literally a miracle. And then it was a lesson, because just before I found the puppy on the same day, I also had another very negative experience. It was not related to an animal, but it was related to people who are into this field, certain people. I felt that people are just using animals for their own agendas. And that kind of hurt me a lot. And I was feeling really lost. I was feeling really sad. But the feeling did not last very long, I'll be honest. It was a heavy duty feeling. It was a really heavy, very, very dark feeling. But I knew that this is actually testing my faith. Many a times we go through negative situations because we are being tested. How much faith do we have? So the reason why I gave you this example is that just before I found the puppy, there were probably so many things that happened in the same day. Within a certain span of certain hours, number of hours. It was really hard, but I don't know why, but I kept saying, I believe in you, God. I believe that whatever you do is fine, whatever you do is right. If whatever happens to the animal, see, honestly speaking, death is something no one can avoid. So when the first puppy died because of accident, I knew that it was her time to go, because death is something which is set for all of us in maybe, like they say, set up in stone, written in stone, set in stone, not set up. I know that we are all born with a return ticket. We all have to die one day. So when somebody dies, and with animals it's really emotional. Over the period of few years, I have actually learned to cope up with this loss. But it's not an easy loss. But at the same time, you have to understand that their time to cross over has come, just the way it will come for us also, just the way some of my really close people have crossed over. And sometimes I feel that it's actually good that they've crossed over. It's actually good that they are done with this simulation. Their time to be in the simulation is over, and they went in the right way. They lived their whole life. That puppy also was a very happy puppy who died on the spot. And 5 minutes before her death, she was hanging out with the tea sellers. The tea sellers loved her a lot, and they used to feed her some, like some Indian biscuits that she loved. And she was so happy. She was playing. Right before her death, she was playing. And it was a sad story. All the people who knew her, many people were happy to see that puppy, and they all told me that we were very sad. So when I was looking for the second one, everybody was sad, everybody was depressed, everybody was like, oh my god, one has gone like this, the second is also probably in some, I don't know, some situation. They didn't want to say it to me. This is just one example. In the twin flame ascension journey also, I know this is something that some of you do find hard to digest because the time frame is really long. Here maybe it's a matter of 2-3 days, 4 days, but I think I should not compare, because when you love somebody, anybody, be it an animal, be it a person, it's unconditional love, it's very pure. So people in the twin flame ascension journey sometimes lose that faith because they love someone deeply and they know that the other person loves them too, but there are so many challenges in the worldly world. The challenges stop them to be in harmony with each other. However, in some cases, I would say, I think maximum cases, you probably have to go through those challenges for character development. You have to go through those challenges for lessons. I mean, I learned a lot of lessons in those 3 days. Lot of deep lessons, very intense lessons, which I won't have learned otherwise, I feel. So when I found the puppy, I was already in that state where I had learned so many lessons. I had gone through multiple types of emotions, multiple types of feelings, that even though I was very happy for her, but my next worry was, or my next, I won't say worry, but my next priority was to get her settled. I mean, it's not easy. When I found her, she was without any energy. She was very dull. She had not eaten for 3 days. It was hot summer. It's hot summers in India already. God knows how she survived all that, crossing so many roads. How did she even navigate through so many roads? I was just thinking that. So, what saved her? So, there was a lot of those feelings, more than now, what next? Now she has to be fed. I think first couple of hours she refused to eat. When she saw milk, she refused to drink milk. When she saw curd, she refused. She saw the biscuits, she refused. She didn't eat anything. She didn't even drink water. And then we were like, what are we going to feed to her? Natural instincts of most such animals is to eat something which is non-vegetarian. So we got her some chicken rice. I'm a pure vegetarian, but for animals, I cannot, force them to become pure vegetarians like me. So we gave her that kind of food. And she instantly ate. Like, she just didn't stop. She went on eating. She was like so hungry. But she was not eating before that. I don't know why. She was so sad. Then she played with some other dogs. She played with some other kids. And finally she started trusting. And then the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. I mean, you really don't get time to be happy because responsibilities are like that. Similarly, our relationships. In all relationships, there are so many responsibilities. A mother has so many responsibilities towards the child. Just the child's birth is not the only thing. After the child is born, then you have to take care of the child. Every single day is hard. Every single day is difficult. Then the child eventually grows up a bit. There are times when a child can fall sick. There are times they can get hurt. There are situations when they get into a fight with other children. There are daily responsibilities and there are levels and stages. Same is a relationship. When a relationship starts, it's about knowing a person, it's about dating. Then a relationship grows, you spend more time, you get to know about their good habits, bad habits. Then it's about adjusting with them. Then probably relationship goes into another level. So different people have different types of relationships and they learn in different ways. Not everybody in ascension ascends because of a romantic connection. Some people ascend because they have a very sensitive heart, very empathetic heart, and they can just connect with some beings. It could be a kitten, it could be a dog, it could be another some animal, that they're raising, or it's a sibling, or it's a parent with whom they feel deep connection with. Sometimes parents, they fall sick and child doesn't know what to do. Sometimes it's a financial crisis a family goes through together. They go through difficult days together and they get a lot of character development in that. Sometimes they want to do great in life, but it's a very hard journey to get to that point. So different people ascend in different way. And in case of a romantic connection also, I feel people need to have faith if they have a relationship. And I'm talking about genuine cases where someone has a genuine problem. Like, I know a lot of people would say, how to know what's a genuine problem. Genuine problem is when you both are in a relationship and you both are giving 100%, but still there are so many issues that you're not able to come together. Those are genuine problems. In those cases especially, you need to have a lot of faith that everything is gonna go the right way. And these kind of cases take time, especially if you know that there is true love between you both and you have the same goal, maybe you have the same mission. It takes time, but it always works out. But you need to have faith. Now, sometimes you just meet a person because they're a catalyst. That's it. There's no other reason. So it's you who needs to decide whether you are meeting or talking to a catalyst, or it's a person you want to spend your whole life with, or it's a person you want to do some kind of mission work with. Different stages, cycles, phases actually make you feel differently. And that's why I said when people start in this journey, they might have different reasons to start, but when they have moved at a certain point, then things change drastically. For some people, I think love makes them a very selfless person. It makes them a proper giver. A proper giver is a person who probably gives to everyone but doesn't take from anybody else other than source. Like, they have a very strong connection with source. All of their emotional, mental, financial, all of their needs are actually met by source. So they are so full, their cup is so full and it's overflowing that they're able to give to others. So I think this is where I'm going to close this channeling session, because I've given some really heartwarming examples. And the whole idea is to actually not react to either positive or negative. Like, there is no reason to be really happy when good things happen in your life. You might say, should we be sad then? No, you should just be neutral and you should just be in curiosity and you should just observe how you feel in a certain place. Maybe you go to some place and people are reacting differently than you. Like, you don't care about it so much, you're very neutral, but you see other people are little upset or angry, or they are just getting very worked up. You can think about those things, like, why are they worked up, why are they angry? Or you can actually create a vibration, like, where you don't give the same kind of reactions. You can learn from other people's reaction. So when I say you observe other people, you have to observe, like, is their reaction required? Is it justified? Is it necessary, that they're feeling this way? So on and so forth. So for personal sessions, healings, therapies, and readings, you can check out the description box. And I want to tell you guys that making these type of videos, content, is not easy. So you must become a Patreon. Guys, I'm also adding something new. If you guys want to ask specific questions, then you can make a contribution on PayPal and write to me the question, whatever question you want to ask. You can remain anonymous and I will also answer that question. The PayPal link is also given in the description box. You can mention on PayPal, this is your name after you make the contribution. Below that, you can put down your question. And you can email your question to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. You can also read my book, In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate. The idea of writing this book is to share with people truth about love, truth about ultimate soulmate, truth about twin flames. What is really love, What is the real meaning of love? Which I think the meaning gets lost somewhere because people are so confused. They think lust is love sometimes, It's not like they do it intentionally, but it's the programming. And a lot of innocent people get sucked into that trap because they also give love to people who may not be loving them back. They could just be physically attracted to them. They may not even care about their personality so much. So we all need to protect our energy, and we need to live our lives, and we need to carry on this journey, because ascension is a lifestyle. And when you love yourself, you actually start loving your own company the most. You don't compromise on that. And when that starts happening, you know that you're actually moving further towards ascension, deeper ascension, and source integration. So I will see you in the next video. One love, peace out, and Victory to Ram.